guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today we'll be reviewing a new series that's on Disney Plus called Prop Culture.
This definitely caught my eye on Disney Plus because I love the behind the scenes aspects of different TV shows, especially about props in Disney movies. That just intrigued me.
Yeah, I have to say, I think some of the nonfiction content, some of the documentary content on Disney Plus has been the best. Imagineering story blew me away.
Yeah.
So when I saw they were having a new behind the scenes thing with another facet of the Disney empire, I just couldn't wait to check it out.
Really interesting. They break down each movie in an episode. An episode runs around like 30 minutes long. The Pirates of the Caribbean one was really cool to me.
Yeah, it's really interesting because some of the movies are movies that I don't particularly care for or really remember that much of, but it was cool seeing the behind the scenes aspects of it and where all the things end up going, because I liked the show called Hollywood Treasure. I don't know if anyone ever remember watching that show, but I really enjoyed that. I love seeing where these really impressive pieces of history, movie history, just end up. It's garages or all over the country, and seeing Pirates, for example, seeing some of it was still down on location, and then there were other parts that were in Hollywood and other parts that were there were some that were in Maryland, I think. There's all over the place, so it's just crazy how this disperses everywhere. One of the things I'll say about the show is I think that the host is pretty interesting. He's definitely a collector, someone who knows a lot about it, and he has that kind of background, so I like that it has a host like that.
Yeah.
But I think it lacks the depth of something like the Imagineering story, or even Hollywood Treasure. They touch on things very subtly. I do like that they bring in the people that actually worked on the movies and you get kind of a backstory, but it would be interesting to see even more of the big things from these movies. Maybe they don't exist. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know. But when I'm watching some of them, it's just amazing how much of it's actually just lost to time.
Oh yeah, especially Mary Poppins, there's a lot of the props are just lost, and so they only have the original casting of it, which they can do replicas and what they did for the newer Mary Poppins movie. So that was very interesting. It's kind of like that Ruby Slipper thing, they're just gone.
I do like, though, speaking of that episode, how you learn how they recreate some of these iconic things, because obviously it seems like back in the day they didn't preserve stuff. They didn't know that this was going to be this touchstone thing in film history, and they kind of just tossed it away. So it's kind of cool how they're able to recreate these iconic things.
Yeah, like what Brian says, they just kind of toss these things away. In the Pirates of the Caribbean episode, the staff where the ship comes in the beginning of the movie, that actual post with the person on top is in a restaurant. It was really
that's what
weird.
I'm saying. I think that is the most interesting part about it, is that you get to see where everything ended up. And what is important to some people, something that's such a small little piece of the film, could be treasured by people, and just seeing how it's all preserved.
Yeah.
Because as people that love watching movies, sometimes I do wonder where these things end up, or how you can buy these things. Because I loved Hollywood Treasure. I love the idea of owning a piece of film history.
Yeah.
So I do like seeing the different collections. You get to a little sneak peek into the Disney archives, and that's so impressive. There's one scene in particular where they go into one of the episodes, and you just see boxes, and it looks like the thing from the end of Indiana Jones. All these boxes of just invaluable items just stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, and the really big piece, they kept the scale model of the Black Pearl from Pirates of the Caribbean, and that was super interesting because they put all amount of detail in it. So when they filmed scenes out in the water, they made this pool of water and put the boat there, and they had to figure out a way that it would float and not sink.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool on that aspect too, because unlike Hollywood Treasure that focuses mainly on obtaining these items and selling them and how much they're worth and all the different collections, they focus more on how these props were used and how they were created. It's more about the actual use of the prop in the film than the fact that it even exists.
Yeah. In the Muppets movie as well, that Muppets episode I thought was very fascinating. Yeah. Especially how they did the driving scenes with the Muppets. Yeah. There's an actual person underneath the car driving it with, the people controlling the Muppets.
So it's cool that you get to see some of the people that worked on the film, because it has that same feeling of Imagineering story where you're seeing those that worked on the parks, or you're seeing those that are, the sons or daughters of these people, and you get some emotional moments. It doesn't hit on an emotional level like Imagineering story. That really hits you, especially with Tokyo Disney aspects. But the fact that you get to see how these people are connected and how important this was to so many people is really interesting in itself.
Yeah, so I definitely say check out Prop Culture on Disney Plus. It was super enjoyable to watch. I love this behind the scenes stuff. Like Brian said, the Imagineering. I love this Disney Plus content that they're putting out. I hope there's more to come. I just find it so fascinating on the different history, the props, just everything about it.
And I like that it being on Disney Plus, that it's something that couldn't probably be created anywhere else because
Mhm.
only Disney can give you some of this content, some
Yeah.
of their own history that
Uh-huh.
they hold so tightly and they don't
Uh-huh.
let people see. So
Mhm.
I love that you're able to get a little bit of the behind the scenes magic of what
Yeah.
makes Disney films special. And I have to say, as someone who doesn't even enjoy half the movies that are on the episodes, it was still interesting.
Yeah.
So whether you go into it, you're like, I don't really like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, or I
Yeah.
don't really like the Tron movie,
Mhm.
you get to go in and see the parts that make it special and maybe make you go visit it and see it in a different light.
Yeah.
Like, I don't love Muppets, but watching the Muppets movie, I was like, wow, this is like really
Yeah.
endearing. I actually want to go watch the Muppets movie and
Mhm.
realize how technical making Muppets really is.
Yeah.
So that's a cool thing to keep in mind if you don't like really like any of the movies there. I would just say give it a shot just to check out because I think most people would like Pirates and those
Yeah.
Mary Poppins, the very big names, but some of the other ones are really interesting too, just on a technical aspect.
All right, guys, remember to like and subscribe. We always appreciate your support. Let us know in the comments down below if you've checked out this series.
And what would you want to see from maybe if they were going to do a season two?
Mhm.
What are some of the Disney movies that you would love to see the
Mhm.
behind the scenes parts of? Because personally, I mean, there's just countless films that Disney's put out that I would love to see how these movies are made, where these
Yeah.
props went. So I really hope we get a season. All right, guys, thanks for watching and see you next time.
Bye.